Hey guys, welcome back to the Odyssey podcast once again. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. If this is your first time tuning in, this is not an interview. This is not a podcast. This is a line where we talk to people who are doing big things in the country in different fields, whilst with the goal of extracting information, knowledge, and tips for us and you guys to implement in your lives and your careers and your business. All right, so today's episode, we have a special episode once again, and our guest is
Shahinder Singh. He's a director of Pappys Fried Chicken. I'm sure everybody knows about it because it is real lush.
Real Lush.
And if you haven't tried it yet, you probably should because you are missing out.
Hey, we're not even overreacting,
Like you would swear we like selling it because he's a guest, and nah, boy, this
like
is
I don't know this man like that. I met him today, and like I'm not trying to sponsor like dog.
He's not sponsoring us, but
Really chicken is just real lush.
It's real good, yeah, 100%.
So how you? Because Jerome got this guest for us. How you met him, man?
Well, more or less, his wife is my coworker, and she just mentioned that he would be a good guest. And coincidentally, that same day, we were liming out after work, and he came and I talked to him for a while. And I was like, this guy would be a good guest. I wouldn't say we have similar personalities, but we did like get along well. And I thought that if he came and sat with us, it would be a good time. And he definitely seemed very knowledgeable. Very knowledgeable about his business and the industry as a whole, and just seemed like a bright fellow, somebody who would like to listen to it. So I was like, let me ask him. And he said yes. He said he liked what we were doing and said he wanted to support. So he said he would come out.
All right. Well, we're both excited for this episode, so let me jump in one time. All right, Shin, thanks so much for coming through on the podcast.
Yeah, man, it was real nice. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. All right, so we already did an intro before, telling the people who you are, but if you had to just give a quick elevator pitch as to who you are, what you do, what would you tell somebody?
Well, my name is Shahinder Singh.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody says Shinda for short.
Right.
I'm a director of Pappys Fried Chicken on Woodbrook.
Mm-hmm.
That's what pretty much everybody knows me as now.
Right.
Everybody knows Pappy.
Yeah, of course.
I've been. Pappys is who I am, I guess. As I said, as much people as know me as Pappys.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing much else to go off for that.
That's fine.
But that's it, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we could jump straight into it then.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So usually we start at secondary school.
Mm-hmm.
But what I wanted to do is give you the freedom to start wherever you wanted to, because you know your life better than we know your life.
Yeah.
And they have certain, I guess, things that we go through in life that kind of shape our character, our interests. So if you could just start us off wherever you feel necessary, and then we could work from there.
Yeah. Well, I went Maple Leaf
Mm-hmm.
secondary school. So all my new friends now from the East still classify me as a white boy.
For sure.
Everybody say, oh God, look at this white boy from the West. But yeah, I was always into football, racing. So in secondary school, when I moved into Maple Leaf at grade 4, I was pretty much the only, brown skinned fella. Right. So I didn't have much. I mean, I had some friends from primary school that I knew that eventually came into Maple Leaf. Mm-hmm. But being the first brown skinned Indian in Maple Leaf, I don't want to make it sound like, whatever. It was hard to, obviously, my name is very different to everybody in Trinidad. Shahinder. So everybody looks at it like this Indian from, but it was, as weeks went on and played football and people started to have a different eye to me, like more, I guess, respect is when play football, so they open up. So I made friends easily. My personality is like anybody could talk to me, I could talk to them. I always willing to listen to people. I won't judge you by the book. That's how I am. That's how I was brought up. I was brought up to have respect for a garbage man, a security man.
Mm-hmm.
So for my whole life, I always have respect for everybody, no matter what status.
Right.
So making friends in Maple Leaf was pretty much easy. In secondary school, as I said, plenty football, making friends. What changed my, I would say, life in Maple Leaf was I made lots of close friends that I still hold close to my heart.
Right.
I never let go of them. I always have in my head, like, people who I've met throughout my life, I keep very close to me, because no matter, every person that comes into my life has changed my life in some way.
Right.
You know, like, I don't just, okay, well, that was part of my life, let me move on. I always keep there to my relationships with people, the experiences we have. I have real stories about all the boys linemen and the amount of shit we went through, and it was good times. Like, lots of people say Maple Leaf was not like a local secondary school, but we had the same kind of drama that you go to a CIC or Fatima. We still had, you know, you have fights, you have shit talk, you have, our only difference is we had girls in our school.
Value.
Yeah, plenty value. It was good fun. But yeah, I mean, that was secondary school. I wish I was still in it. I always tell, like, even my little cousins and now, I'm like, you don't want school to fly by. It's the best days of your life. And even my parents used to tell me that, I'd be like, man, I want to get out and make money and this and that. But secondary school is one of the best years of my life.
Yeah, you don't realize that till you come out.
Yeah.
So I realized that.
Yeah.
I realized that.
It's good fun, man.
Yeah. But before you made friends and thing, how was that period of, especially moving in? Because you moved in at Maple Leaf in grade 4.
Yeah.
What is the equivalent of that to, like, regular school?
That's like standard 2, I think.
Okay. Also early primary school then.
I think it's, yeah. So, well, Maple Leaf is grade 4, grade 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think Form 1 is like grade 6 equivalent.
Okay.
Right.
Something like that. But I mean, I classify Maple Leaf as my secondary school.
Right.
You know? Because you just grew up in one area. Yeah. So yeah, grade 4 is like, you can say primary school. But then you have 5, 6. And then you move into secondary.
I could really see that being hard, especially since, because everybody else would have been in school from before. So they already have their friend groups and things. And then you coming in as this outside.
But everybody knows each other too. Everybody in the same circle from a long time.
Right.
It's family members, it's cousins, it's all these kind of people, you know. So you had to make friends.
Yeah.
So it was difficult for the couple of weeks, but then it came easy after a while. Still close to where plenty of them.
Yeah.
You know? So it was good.
And what do you think happened in Maple Leaf that helped? Or do you think any of your experiences in Maple Leaf helped push you towards what you're doing now?
Yeah, I think Maple Leaf, when you did, let me say, certain projects, you had to get up and speak in front of people. So, like, I know in other schools, it's just exams and written and all these things, but we had to present. So that in that aspect, like, you feel comfortable in talking in front of people. So for people who are very shy, they had to do it.
Yeah.
You know, for me, like, it was difficult at the start, but then you get used to it. Also, I also come from a family where my grandmother's like, every meeting that we have, Christmas, whoever's birthday, everybody has to stand up and say something towards us, even if they don't want to, you know. Granny was like, you have to stand up and say something. So that was easier for me doing that in Maple Leaf too, because Maple Leaf also brought that out to you. What else? Why Maple Leaf? It's all kicks too, eh? It was plenty. It was laid back. But it groomed a lot of people, I think. I mean, lots of people came from Maple Leaf for doing great things. You know? I think Maple Leaf also had a lot of connections. Like, lots of people I know now have jobs or great people. And so it's good to know these kind of people, you know, from school. Lots of people passed through Maple Leaf too, eh? Like, I was there from almost the beginning. Yeah, lots of people came in like later on in their lives, grade 10, 11, 12. So everybody knows each other.
Right.
So great connection-wise, Maple Leaf was good for that, you know?
And how come your parents chose to send you there instead of like public?
I literally live 2 minutes away from Maple Leaf.
Oh, okay, so it's just convenient.
Yeah, it was convenient. I'm also Canadian too.
Oh, true.
So the fees were obviously lower for Canadians, and it would be an easier step to go to university and whatever. That's why lots of people came to Maple Leaf eventually, because you have easier access to go to these universities, York, University of Toronto, RAS, and all these places.
Yeah.
So it was an easier process to move away, you know.
And in your period there, you had any idea what you wanted to do in the future? Any
Maple
career
Leaf?
path choice in your head?
Nothing.
Just
Nothing.
enjoying it. As well.
Yeah, I was just literally, my school days was just football and play, you know. Literally, like I really wasn't a school fella too. Like, I never used to like just sit down and study, you know. But if I did, obviously pass with flying colors. But I was literally just, it was football, it was kicks, that was it. But I had no idea what I wanted to do. Nothing.
You had no pressure on your parents, like from your parents?
Of course, yeah. They always, what do you want to do with your life? I was like, I don't know. I mean, business, you know. So I just did business. I just did business management because I was playing football and I was racing. So I was a young age. I had a go-kart when I was 8, 9 years old because my grandfather was a big racer in Wallafield days. So I was just sport oriented. Go-karting took a lot of my weekends during secondary school. Like every other weekend I was racing. So Friday, Saturday, you're prepping, you're testing, you're doing all these things. So I just studied that kind of stuff. Not really school, to be honest. But it's not like I failed. It's not like I was doing crap, you know? But that was me. Just sports.
That is a real cool sport to do, though. Go-karting is real.
That is so rare, though.
It's plenty money, though.
Yeah, I could imagine.
I want to hear more about it in detail, though. Like you say, it took up a lot of your weekends, but I want to know what that entails because a lot of people like have no idea that go-karting racing is even a thing in Trinidad.
Yeah, no, lots of people don't really know about it. It's not as big as obviously cricket, football. So when I was doing it, it was hard to get sponsorships from companies or government. So it's a lot of my stepdad had to fork out his money. But he saw the talent, you know, so he was invested in it. So he did as much as he could, which I'm tremendously grateful for because it brought a relationship between both of us. You know, like that father-son relationship. He knows me since I was 2, but that relationship grew and it's still up to this day with Pappys too. Like we have that relationship. We know how to work with each other. We know how to understand each other, you know, when we have problems. But the racing wise, it's plenty money. Like you gotta have fresh tires every race meet if you want to be competitive. You gotta have 2 engines just in case something goes wrong with one. You gotta have 2 chassis in case one goes wrong and you hit somebody and the chassis bend.
So 2 cars basically.
Yeah, I mean it's plenty money. And especially when you want to be competitive, you had to have the best of the best. You know?
Most of the races were here or like they were races in
you had the championship down here and you have now, well back then when I was racing they had Jamaica as well. So we went Jamaica on a couple weekends. Jamaicans, obviously, they were always a little step ahead because they were also closer to Miami too. So they have the experience and the easy transportation with better parts and all these kind of industrial stuff. But now I think they still do Jamaica. I think they do Barbados, they do in Guyana. But motorsport on the whole in Trinidad is very small.
Yeah.
It's growing, but it's small.
It's niche.
Yeah. So you have a couple of drivers now. But they have a young girl. She's doing well. But yeah, they have some talent, but it's just need the right guidance, you know, like when I raced, I got a scholarship to go France. Man, did well in France, but I got only like 500,000 euro sponsored in the next 500,000. And that's mad money.
That's real. Yeah.
What kind of racing is this?
That was Formula 4 Renault series. So I actually raced on, I don't know if you all know the track, the 24-hour Le Mans track.
Yeah.
So that was like the testing and whatever. And I did well. I mean, I struggled at the beginning because I never raced a race car in my life. You know, I might have just popped clutch and put it in second. And, you know, but I remember when I first started, the guy was just cussing me. He's like, what are you doing there? I didn't even know how to leave the pit lane because the pit lane had an incline now.
Yeah.
So I trying to balance clutch, shut down. Stop.
And this man
And
come
we
for
have cars lining up waiting, right? So eventually just seeing people just driving by like,
Just shoot, man.
who know what you weigh? So I eventually caught on. Because it was a long process, like 3, 4, 5 hours of just do certain things. They come back to it, and that's what they want to see. They want to see if you're fast or you could drive. They want to see how you could learn and adapt. And I did that quickly. So eventually they put me in a room, and I was like, what? I was 16, 16. Yeah. And they put you in a room like this, pretend like you're in a movie theater, right? And they have like 5 of them in front of you, and it's you by yourself. 15 years old, and you're hearing all these questions from French people. Obviously, they're real stern, and and they're just like, "You really want to do this?" I was like, "Yeah." Are you willing to learn how to speak French? And I was like, "Yeah." You know, what else are you gonna say? No.
16 words.
So eventually got it, signed it, but we needed the next how many millions again just to do schooling and living expenses and all these kind of tralala. And we went to the government, but the government never really saw fit. It wasn't there. It wasn't on their agenda to say, you know. So we had to turn it down. But it was great. That was one of my highlights in my life. Just being on that track alone, the amount of people, stars, fantastic drivers, the names. That alone experience was amazing.
Was that like, after doing it again, scholarship, was that kind of like a career choice for you?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So it was heartbreaking when it couldn't fall through.
Yeah.
You know? But racing is plenty money.
Yeah.
Real money. It's one of the most expensive sports in the world.
If you look at all those Formula 1 men, all of their daddy's rich.
Yeah, all of them. only Hamilton was the only one that had to.
His dad still had to like break his back to pay for everything.
I think 4 mortgage his house 3 or 4 times or something. Jesus. But he had the faith in him. Yeah. You know, it paid off.
Sure.
So is that like the natural progression from karting to like Formula 1?
Yeah, karting for sure you had to start off in, and then you move the ranks to Formula 4, Formula 3, Formula 2. But lots of people reach Formula 2 and Formula 3, and then they won't reach Formula 1, you know? But they were moving to other parts of racing. They have all kind of different kinds. Formula 1 is just the pinnacle of racing, you know?
But at such a young age as well, doing something like that must have helped you make a lot of friends, because that's really cool.
I was the youngest, so I was older man, like 45, 50 years old.
Karting still?
Yeah, karting. That was their kicks. So I still close with all of them. Like when they see each other, we're cool. So it was nice. I was brought up with bigger people around me. I always had a relationship with older people, you know? I guess we understood each other. I was understanding with them. I was mature enough to hold a conversation with them. So yeah, I was literally the youngest. Eventually people came, you know, you had 1 or 2 others, younger people that came eventually, but still cool with them too, you know?
And then after that scholarship thing kind of fell through, you kind of pulled back on the karting and you continued doing it.
We did it for a couple of years. But yeah, it just eventually realized that spending too much money, you reach the age where it don't make sense again. You know, you gotta catch it at an early age.
Yeah.
So that was that. I would love to get back into it, but there's plenty of money and time.
Yeah, I drift car or something.
That's still money.
Yeah, that's people. Alright, so when that door closed, though, what's Shin looking at?
When that door closed, it was university, did that. And then just came home and worked summertime jobs, worked in a shipping company that my family owned. Worked with EOG Resources in Chagaramas for a while. And then, Pappys was always in between all those years. We always used to do small events, small parties, house limes. You know, that was going on for like 17 years before Pappys came what it is. Everybody was saying, why you don't sell this? Why you don't do this? Blah, blah, blah. And we never really took into consideration of doing it in the early stages. because obviously we're thinking of different things. This is just a kick sting. This is just what we like to do, entertain people. People like chicken, we do it for them.
Right.
But like I would say, like 8 years ago, really search for a good spot.
Before you go into that, you could take us to the start of that recipe, and we could work from there.
It's a family recipe, isn't it?
Well, yeah, the recipe itself is a family recipe that my parents came up eventually. But the frying of peppers and garlic is not really a secret, because I mean you show everybody that. But that's just a method. Like it's like how you cook a curry. Like you put your onions, your pepper, and your garlic in the oil. Everybody knows that method. Yeah, right. But the actual secret is the recipe that we have with the chicken.
So it is a secret recipe.
Yeah. I mean, lots of people try to replicate. You see people doing their peppers and whatever in the oil, and people attack you. Be like, "Hey, what's going on here?" Like anybody can do that. That don't mean it will taste good. You don't know how to fry it. You don't know what to do. You don't. So there's lots of research and development on my part to make it as consistent as it is. But that's how it started. With just family, just friends, coming together and just frying chicken for them.
And men just saying, "It's very lashing."
Yeah,
do something with this
because they like the spice. The spice when you're drinking, the spice is what you crave, and that's soup when you're up too. So it was good.
And so, but one question I had is like, if a lot of people use food as like their go-to venture, they want to like be self-employed and things, but they usually don't. They're not received as well as Pappys was received. So why do you think is the reason? What separates you all from them?
One is, I think what captivated everybody was the peppers and garlic in the oil. People were intrigued to see that. So one of my friends, Teresa, she always wanted to take a video of us doing it for her own page, which was Proper Eats at the time.
Okay.
And that literally just blew up overnight. I think she got like 83,000 views on Facebook in one night. And she messaged me and she's like, but that was, go back to your question, that what made Pappys what it is. That everybody getting captivated by the peppers and the garlic. Also, it tastes good, right? It's gluten, it's gluten free. You don't feel sick after you eat it.
That's true, though.
Yeah, you don't feel like other places where you're like, why did I eat this? Like people crave it. I have people come here every day. Yeah, because they just crave it all the time.
After the college, I went and buy those.
So I think our problem. Lots of people think they know how to. I'm not bashing anybody, but lots of people think that they could cook, right? But food is one of the toughest industries. You have to literally you're dealing with customers who have different points of view, different palates, different mindsets. That you just have to be on the ball all the time, and obviously you'll get shit. You will for sure get a customer who's very unhappy. Like yesterday I had one. The wings were over fried for some reason. She called and she's just like, I order from you all the time and this and that, but I would never eat this again. And I'm just like, well, ma'am, I'm sorry. Like everything is on a timer. Like either somebody in the back actually did forget, but nobody said they did. I really had to refund her. I mean, I didn't have to, but I did. She never asked for a refund. She just called to file a complaint and she talk. So I was like, ma'am, I refund your money. She said, thank you very much. Didn't expect that. You have to, when you're at fault, you're at fault. Even though if it's not your fault, But food industry is real tough. Yeah.
So how was that journey from, because you all started in a food truck?
Nah, the food truck came eventually. We just did it from home. Yeah, and then eventually we found a spot which is right down the road from where we lived that we were looking for an iron for the longest while, which is in Diego Martin, and that was Pappys. That's where we started. A little hole
next door to the auto place.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, so that's where we started, and then we had 2 fryers, and it was mom and myself. Sometimes we would clean like 2 cases of chicken inside, like because nobody coming in. So mom and I were just, I will season for tomorrow. And we used to fry when somebody actually used to come in. So it's not like we had chicken. Yeah. And I mean, we still fry when we had to fry more because you have constant, amounts of people coming all the time. But before it was just like, Somebody walk in, all right, put down chicken, you know, wait 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when that video happened, the next day, my back, my body, because I was doing like literally everything. It was mom and myself, and she cashing mine back by myself, like frying fries, frying chicken, cutting it, packaging that. And I was like, boy, we need to hire some people. My sister eventually came involved, her husband came involved, but they also had other jobs, so they'll come when they're finished.
Right.
It should be like 2, 3 o'clock, whatever, 4 o'clock.
It's pain.
Yeah, it was pressure. Some Saturdays I had to close the gate and I was like, now we done. I can't handle it. My back literally was seized up. Can't do anything. And then we got staff and staff came and I helped up a little bit. But that's how Pappy started, yeah.
Does the staff know the recipe?
Nah, no way. It's just the family. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where the money is.
So after that video, it just kind of, the volume of people just kept flowing? Or was it like I just, like, it started
non-stop.
okay and started?
Non-stop.
So all the
Now-
people who were, sorry.
No, go ahead.
So all the people who were making it for before, do you think that didn't help at the start before the video? So you weren't getting a lot of people.
All right, so be honest, when we first, Pappys was always, the chicken was always part of what we wanted to do, right? But we also wanted to do things like crispy skin pork. We wanted to do on
So good.
on a Saturday, you bring a chef to come and do like a curry or a pilau, and that's what we wanted. And we were just gonna cater for like family and friends and whoever heard word them out. But when the video came out, it was all about chicken, and that was that. Changed the whole method, the whole dynamic of the business.
When I go there, I literally just get the chicken. So I don't know what else is on the menu. What else is on the
It's chicken, wings, shrimp. Yeah.
So what was the I guess the motivation behind keeping it so simple and niche?
Simplicity is key. Like I've seen lots of food businesses have massive menus, and sometimes they might focus on one and then forget the other. And when somebody actually wants to order that one, it's not as up to par because they don't have, you know, you're putting love into it. Most we will do again is like a chicken sandwich, which we have to do, but when we're gluten free, our kitchen is real small. So when we're doing something, it has to be done properly. You don't want to say you have a chicken sandwich and you have all these people come for a chicken sandwich and then it's shit.
Yeah.
You know? I don't want that at all.
Sure.
So yeah, that's it's pretty much it. Oh, coleslaw, sour fries, sweet potato fries. Simple.
And I kind of realize with a lot of the food places I see in Trinidad that start in like a food truck or whatnot, they kind of stay there. Like they don't really grow. Like what was the, like, I guess the action and the decisions behind making it what it is today? Because when I go to Pappy's now, when I look in the back there, well, there's some serious equipment and things going on.
Your equipment is your investment. If you don't have good equipment, you're not going to have consistent products, you know? I would say I was the one, because I'm every day I studying different things, looking at different things, how to improve, how to keep it consistent. So it's all about obviously telling Pappy, hey, this is what we need to do. If you want this product to be what it is, you need this, you need that. But the people who are in food trucks, I mean, they're doing the same things, right? There's gyro people, there's hot dogs, there's burgers. I think I can name a couple of good burgers in Trinidad. The rest of the places is just like all as bread on a little patty. So I mean, the ratio to burger, the burger and the bread the ratio to be good. The difference with us is that we kept it simple. It's a great product. It's a niche product, you could say, right? It's the only
good price too, though.
Yeah, the price for what it is. The big piece of chicken, lots of fries. But our thing is it's gluten free. You have lots of people who have stomach problems.
I didn't even know you have gluten.
Yeah, there's no flour in our kitchen. So it's good for people who are also trying to be healthy, who have stomach issues, who have allergies. It tastes, obviously I said it tastes good.
Yeah,
and people like it.
Great, bro.
Yeah. So that's the difference between us, I would say. You know, and as small as we are, because I still think that we're very small, our name is out there for sure, 100%. So it's a blessing. Thank God for it. Like every day I wake up and I'm just like, hey boy. Even tell Sarah, I was like, Pappy's really, like lots of people really know us. So sometimes it doesn't hit me as how it should, And I glad for it because I don't want to be cocky about it. I don't want to give up on the brand and be like, okay, this is it. Like I'm seeing us still small and we still have plenty to do. Lots to do, But COVID was a big hit. COVID screwed us plenty.
Yeah, tell us about it.
Yeah, COVID was I think 3 months we were out. It was obviously on and off as well. Where we had to shut down for 3 months, and that was also the process when we were leaving Dingo Martin to go into Woodbrook. And then construction stopped too. So we literally couldn't do anything. And we were still paying staff for the staff we had at the time. We were still paying rent, so obviously your cash flow is going down.
Yes.
But
Sure.
so COVID was a massive hit. Obviously, supply chain, everybody's prices went up. So no matter what, our prices had to go up, which was hard because we know how the customers' pockets are, like everybody's struggling. Yeah. So it was hard to put out a notice and saying this and that, Even now our prices are supposed to be higher, but we can't do that. Mm-hmm. You kill people, So COVID was tough, but everything for a reason, as I always say, It is what it is.
And you all also have very strong reputation and word of mouth. The first time I had Pappys, I didn't even see any advertisement.
Yeah.
Some girl just told me that she had it 4 times 3 and I was like, what the hell is this, boy? and then somebody else mentioned it, and somebody else mentioned it. So I was like, word, time to go try it. And I tried it. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Word of mouth is the best, Word of mouth is the best advertising.
Yeah, because that's just pure, that just means it's good.
Yeah.
You can't pay for that.
Yeah. Exactly. Now we're grateful for sure. Thank God.
So when we see the next location.
We're actually in the process of trying to open one in the east. Well, Barataria really.
That's a good spot.
Yeah, Garden Road. You know a new extra foods building?
I heard about it. I don't know where it is.
You know any new Starbucks is on the highway? And they have an extra foods building.
Barataria?
Yeah.
On the highway?
On the opposite side. If you're heading east.
Nah, wait.
Really venture up there.
I don't cut all that part.
But yeah,
it's a good spot now. But how, the process of, because even moving from Diego Martin to going into Woodbrook, that process of finding a spot and thing, what do you have to, how do you go about that? You have to go to a realtor and find a place, but how would you also have to consider the exact location and proximity, and if you could even cater for a kitchen and foods and all kind of crap.
Yeah, it's lots of things you gotta go through. Obviously, parking is one. Parking is the biggest issue. You have to look at the structure of the place. We went into a place where it's an old home. Those old Woodbrook homes.
Yeah.
So you have to structurally look at it and be like, okay, well, could we put the kitchen here because of the floor? You have to change the roof because the roof has to be a specific fire protection, all those kind of things. Mm-hmm. Then you do your drawings, which is you have to put out that money without even saying you agree to a place because you have to hopefully see if it can lay out properly and get all the structural designs. There's lots of work beforehand to actually open up a place. So I can tell you now from the process that we're doing here with the new location is this place is already going to meet out for food. So yeah, you're just giving you a spot and just square foot, whatever. But you have to hire somebody to get the drawings, lay out everything, make sure it's up to your standard, and then you move from there. You get the more equipment, you get more staff. It's a long process. But
how come you chose the east versus south, where there's also
south was our first one we were going to do, in South Park, but I don't want to go down the whole of a next business that did that, where they were from Grandy and then they moved from branch to branch to branch to branch, and it's lost all consistency of product. But from us to go from quite Woodbrook to South, logistics alone is something that we weren't ready for.
Okay.
Because remember, you got to get trucks then. You have to get the process of getting chicken there is the most difficult one. Some exact, especially when you're now opening a new place so far away from home, it never made sense. You're thinking about money more than anything else.
Yeah.
You know, you're not thinking about the whole what it takes logistically to move from where our spot is in Digo to quite south, and it was too risky, to be honest. You know, so you move. Like I always want to come back to Digo. Like, you have Woodbrook, you have Digo, you have East, you have Central, you have South. That's my goal. You know?
Nice, that's all there.
Yeah. You don't wanna spread yourself too thin.
Exactly. And you also don't want to risk quality because the
Yeah,
people who you
quality
hire
is
might not have the same like.
Yeah. It would have been chaos, to be honest.
There are customers in the East though, for sure. I remember.
100% though.
Yeah, like today, Saturday, you get people from Grandy, you get people from Point, you get people from everywhere. That's a Saturday, they're a food trip.
Yeah,
you know?
drive and buy something.
Yeah. So Saturday, every day, yeah, we make sure that quality is on point, but even on a Saturday, because you never know who's coming in and who's trying it for the first time. And I try to put that into staff's head, like, think of that like every day though. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Think of somebody who's coming for the first time, how they want to enjoy it. Hot food, tasty food. You don't want cold. You don't want something dry and small. You want everything to be 100 all the time, you know, especially on a Saturday.
Good way to look at it.
They have to.
Yeah, that's true.
Every
Yeah.
customer is a new customer.
It's food. Yeah. Everybody's a new customer all the time, you know?
Like us who hooked already, we'll give it the blind.
You know, I tell all the people who come to me like every time, like, you had to tell me if you had a bad experience, if something was a little off, if it was cold, if it wasn't up to your standard, or, you know, I always tell people to tell me that because the staff needs to know. You know, they will obviously have their days where they feel like they don't need to work or they're tired or they don't give a crap. You know, then they'll give up. That's the mentality, right? That's everybody at some point.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure your staff 100% all the time.
Speaking of staff, what have you learned in your journey in Pappys about managing people and people in general?
When we first opened, I was grateful for them at the time, for sure. But when you get too close to staff, when you get too comfortable with them, they start to take advantage of you. And they start to think that they own this place. You know, I've learned to keep them at a distance now.
Right.
You know, it's work. And if you want to talk and you want to have a conversation, you want to have a drink after work, no problem. But during work hours, don't come to me with no plating. And yeah, we could laugh, we could talk, but I won't reach that stage where I'm your friend. I'm your close buddy. You can talk to me anytime you want. Nah, I went through that to the point where it went toxic.
Yeah.
You know? I was grateful for them many times. They really helped us out. They worked very well, but they just got way too comfortable. Way too comfortable. To the point where they disrespect you. They think they could do whatever they want. And so I've learned a lot from not getting too comfortable.
Right.
Not getting too close. I still have respect for my staff now. I'm not saying I won't line with you. I won't talk to you. Like, we're cool. But we're not crossing that line.
Yeah.
Where you could just come and be like, no, I'm not going to do this because I don't feel. It's like, I'm telling you to do something. Like, but yeah, staff is very tricky.
Yeah, that's a good lesson.
Yeah.
And how did you go about like getting like other people, other businesses, to respect you as a business owner, and like how did you like earn your seat at the table?
What other businesses?
Yeah, because it just started small.
I think the product just speaks for itself. You know, the product does the work. So that brought respect. Even with like our suppliers, when we first started, like when I was trying to get chicken, I was trying to get ketchup, mustard, all these kind of things, small things. Just to start. They were like, who are you all?
Who's your,
yeah, okay, like, you know, you call them, like, you know, well, you need this amount of quantity to start off. And she's like, all right, okay. So where do I go? Or price models. You know? And then, so obviously, yeah, the product did the work, you know? It grew a lot, so we had to order more. And even when prices was rising all the time, COVID time, and you stop buying from this who you always bought from, and you go and buy somebody new, and they're giving you a better price, those people coming back for you, you know? Because they realize at the end of the month, wait now, how flow looking so little bit, but we have money. And they realize.
Something missing.
Yeah. They realize the quantity that we used to take. Mm-hmm. So that alone, as I said, is a product that just speaks for itself. The respect comes with it. You know?
And how is you, stepdad, and mom running this?
And my sister, yeah.
And your sister. And that's plenty family members.
Mm-hmm.
How was that dynamic in running a business? Like,
it has its ups and downs. Even at the beginning, it was well, obviously Pappy himself, he just looks at the numbers, right? If something goes up, he tells us, well, this rose by 12%. What are we gonna do? We're ordering too much of this. Take it all, you know. But then we explain to him, this is the case. This is what's going on. Mom deals with all the sauces and whatever, the garlic sauce, the mother-in-law, coleslaw and stuff. Now she has somebody helping her, but she's the one that came up with all the ingredients and these recipes for that. My sister deals with the HR side. I not dealing with that. I used to deal with that too, and I was like, nah, boy.
Not on it.
Yeah. So I just deal with more of the operations and the product itself. But dealing with family, we try to have meetings as much as we can, even if it's once, twice a week. Yeah. It's been difficult now just because of the scenario at my house and it caught on fire and all kind of trouble.
House burn? What? The house burned down, but
yeah, last year.
The house.
But we definitely have meetings and we discuss things. Obviously, you have your no's and your yeses and your disagreements, but eventually everybody comes down and we agree to one thing, you know? So it's nice dealing with family because you have the opportunity to come see and talk to you all. Yeah. You know, I could leave work and somebody could come fill in or... but as of now, it's one store. It could pretty much run on its own now because how we have it. 1, 2, 3 stores open up, it's going to be mad busy. It's going to be very difficult. Sure. But that's why we try to have meetings all the time. Once, twice a week. Just to catch base, what you're thinking about this, what we should do about this, what promotions we should do during the week to kind of boost sales on the dead times, just ideas that people are always thinking about. So it's important to have the meetings and the communication and the unity involved, for sure. But even we had a big prayer meeting the other day, Tuesday, just to pray and for the new business, for keeping us together. Just, I don't know, that was like 3-4 hours of prayer. You know, it's important to us, at least, you know, to keep that unity, to keep that understanding with everybody, make sure we're on the same page, and leave it to God.
It sounds like your stepdad's a real, very, a solid businessman. And what have you learned from him? What has he...
How to spend money.
Spend money.
Yeah. Spend it wisely. Nah, he's a good... He's very intelligent. He obviously with experience, lots of experience, working everywhere, doing what he has to do on his own business, starting his own business as well. But yeah, I've learned pretty much always get a quote from somebody and from somebody else. Spend money wisely is definitely what I've learned from him. There's always ways to save money and somebody will do it better for somebody more expensive kind of thing, you know?
How old are you now? 30.
34.
You got to travel at all?
If I got to travel? Yeah. I've been to Thailand.
Seriously?
Yeah, Bangkok, Malaysia, Singapore.
Yeah, those are
England, Italy.
How would those not tell us?
Because I find traveling over there is real cool. Because I don't know.
Yeah, I did the whole backpacking vibes. Yeah. I did the whole backpacking vibes with my ex. So we saved up enough money to last us like 3 weeks. 3 weeks we did the whole Thailand vibes. We went to small different islands off of Thailand. But traveling over there is, you take a flight, an hour flight to here, with the turbulence, brother. I never used to be scared of flying. But on that side of the world, I don't know about the air difference. You get some serious turbulence. But it was nice because you just running through towns, you have your backpack. I never thought I would see myself doing them kind of things. But that was a nice experience. Cheap as ass.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, once you get there.
Once you reach there.
Yeah, we did Bali. Yeah, we did all those things. I can't remember the names of these small islands though. She would remember.
So what kind of things did I have to do there? Besides go to the beach and
It's like food.
Yeah, the food.
just experience the culture.
Yeah, the culture. Bali has a real nice culture. They believe in karma. Like, that's what they believe in. So, I do good for you, it will come back to me at some point. So, they're real nice, But, yeah, in Malaysia, we went to see my dad. And we went on some small islands off of Malaysia there. Malaysia just like Trinidad, eh? As in, like, temperature-wise, houses, the climate atmosphere, like how the avenue is. They have lots of streets like that in Malaysia. So it felt like you're home or you're away from home. Just different languages,
People, different language, same thing.
Yeah, but same heat, humid. Yeah, but that was a nice trip. What else, boy? Yeah, Italy and thing. But I want to travel more. Obviously, that's the next goal between wifey and I before child come.
You have a child on your way?
Nah. Before the child.
Let's get time to do that.
Yeah, it's time. Yeah, how EY is.
Yeah, that's the next thing. Both of them basically fucking.
Yeah. Now we want to do Europe for sure. Or like
Europe
a proper
trip.
Europe vibe. Yeah.
Should be fun.
Yeah. England. I want to do. Where else we want to go, boy? Spain. I did Madrid actually. I won a trip to Heineken.
You want it?
Yeah. They had the Heineken trip to go see Madrid versus Man City.
Yes.
Yeah. That was real vibes.
This for you?
It was me and a couple other. It was like 18 of us, 14 of us.
The thing paid for all of you, or the men just jumped on?
No, you pay. Heineken paid for all of them.
So like, paying for what? Like flight, accommodation, everything?
Your brethren or just random people?
No, random people.
What?
Yeah. That was real vibes.
I can imagine.
That was a whole different experience. I think there was like a 4-day trip too. And you're biking through the city and it was real kicks. Yeah.
I swear people never actually win those things. I swear it was just like promotional
so
stuff.
when I got that phone call, I was like,
confused.
I thought it was one of my friends calling me now. Yeah. Because he's a real play the ass kind of guy. So I was actually live on radio. Thank God I ain't cuss on him. I was like, what? Serious? Because remember that's when Heineken had a promotion and you scan the bottle code.
Right.
You saw the barcode or whatever. And that's how you entered. But apparently they called 2 people before me and they didn't answer their phone. And normally I don't answer like random phone numbers. No. I just happened to answer it. And I live on radio. And then people messaging me after, did you just win? I was like, yeah. I leave work. So? I leave work one time and I was like, go on, yes. It's like, I quit my job and 2 hours later, my boss called, where are you? I was like, oh, sorry. I'm home, man. I feel too good. But yeah, that was a nice trip. That was real vibes.
Sure, though. That's amazing. And free.
Yeah, it's free. And you get a little 200 euro or some shit. US or whatever to spend.
That's value.
Yeah, it was nice.
What do you think is the major barrier for small to medium sized businesses in this country, growth wise? Do you think there's not like a ceiling that's onto them?
I would consider us as small, right? So our major thing is obviously price. Obviously, the cost of goods have increased because of shipping, COVID, droughts in different parts of the world, war. So the issue is now for, and even large companies, is if you look at KFC, for example, when they stopped giving condiments out to everybody.
Uproar.
Yeah, I mean, but you can't blame them. So the cost of all those things are a major factor because then you're not getting any cash flow, you're not meeting your percentages, you know. And as I said, you don't want to raise your price and then you bust the customer's pocket.
Yeah.
Because obviously the price of cost of living now is high for everybody. That's a major thing for all businesses, I would say. Is nobody can really grow at the point they want to or the rate they want to now. I mean, you're talking about prices of like ketchup and then going up almost 100% from how it used to be.
Tomatoes,
All those things. Price of oil now kind of going down.
So,
prices of fries that obviously coming from away gone up tremendously. We have real issues, you know, but that's the main thing for, I would say, all businesses at this point, especially in food. That cost, yeah.
A big problem right now because like most of the stuff in Trinidad imported.
Everything, yeah.
So we had to go off how the prices going out there, and the prices going up. And the companies down here getting blamed for raising their prices, but they have to.
They have to.
But the thing is, I could understand why, because the wages not increasing.
Yeah.
So that's the problem there.
Yeah. Nobody can afford as what they want, you know?
Definitely.
So we've seen a drop in. Right now, our wage is constant. We know exactly how much you're going to do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Because we do have a good following, we do have a good product. So other small businesses, I sometimes feel sorry for them. Even when COVID time, you had big businesses or businesses that were inside the food industry for a long time. They had to close down or change their method or do something else and just do catering. Yeah. I don't want to call names, but they had plenty and it's like, what? Wow.
Yeah.
You had to change your whole method of business. You know? But it's tough.
And nobody tried to buy Pappys from you, over.
Plenty of people.
Serious.
Yeah.
And you never get tempted once by any offer.
We had one big client I would say, client with opportunity. And we had lots of meetings with them. And they were great. Obviously, they're great people to do business with. But when you get down to nitty-gritty and you really read about things, you're losing your right to say something, to do something, because you have partnerships involved.
Yeah.
And
So it's more like a partnership, not them buying the whole thing.
Yeah, not buying the whole thing. I would never.
Also, they're coming in to like scale it up. Like,
yeah. I remember one time, one of the first owners of Royal Castle came to me and said, "Don't let anybody buy out." I remember him telling me that. He's like, I think they own one Royal Castle still. Not sure which one it is. And they were just like, it was one of their biggest regrets, they say.
With the first owners of Royal
Castle. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know the people who own it now is not the original owners.
They bought it over, yeah.
Oh, so it's not franchise. Either just own.
Own. Yeah. So when he told me that, I was like, yeah, well, I agree. Even when I talk to my boys and I would tell them the stories and the people that come in and they're just like, you're not ready for that. You have one store. What that one store gonna worth a couple.
You're not ready for the sell?
Nah.
All right.
Nah, not at all. My goal is to have 3-4 stores that we could do our own and run that to the point where you know everything about the business. I talk about like trucks, logistics, all these things. You need to get that down pack. And then you learn to, or you'll think about franchise in other places, or you move to different islands, Miami. Because it could, I mean, no doubt you can, but it's just to get the proper logistics in place to do all those things.
And to do that without partnership might be tough.
Yeah. So there is talks about investors coming involved and trying to help us out, but you take everything with a pinch of salt and you have to really look into it properly, you know?
Because they're coming with their best interest in heart, not yours.
Yeah.
You might get fucked.
Yeah, exactly. You never know what could happen, to be honest. You really don't know.
And like that had to be a slow process to open up all them stores. In that case, like all they want to
Yeah, we know.
upkeep the quality and like the culture behind Pappys. It's
We're only 5 years open, eh? And they
Yeah.
could cancel a 1 year off because of COVID, so you could say 4, but
Yeah, man, I like what they're doing. It's slow progression. That's way better. Especially as
Yeah.
a family-owned
Yeah, you
company.
can't rush them things,
can't
right?
rush them thing, dog. You'll lose the culture.
yeah.
Slap one in Tobago.
Yeah, I still didn't like Tobago, though.
Yeah.
That would be
Tourists will love that shit.
Yeah.
They might not be able to handle that.
It was at the start it was real spicy though, but now it's kind of it all toned it down.
I would say yes and no, to the point where, I mean, if you have it all the time, you get used to it.
True.
You know, when people say, well, you're tuning it down, it's like, we didn't change anything. You all just got used to it.
Yeah, well, at time,
That first one mashed me up. But it was so good.
at time, I cry eating that bread, but it tastes so good.
I finished it, yeah. I was dying, but I ate it.
I was just, what I want to know though is how much has the recipe changed from those started from the limes to now?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, a lot. Certain ingredients just to make it more consistent and healthier, to be honest.
Okay.
Back then we used to use like shit, not really shit, but like things that you really shouldn't, like MSG and all kind of thing, you know? Well, the kind of sauce that we're using had MSG in it.
Mhm.
So we try to change away from all that tralala.
Okay.
But that's the only reason, that's the only thing that changed. Obviously, some peppers won't be hotter than others. So you'll get the probably a little inconsistency of that, which I've tried to make it more consistent without adding other things involved to make it more consistent. But it hasn't changed that much, except for, as I said, the smaller ingredients here and there.
Mhm.
But that's it. Same thing.
Yeah, I'm seeing that because I haven't gotten an overly hot one.
Yeah.
It's been real consistent.
Yeah, it's consistent.
Yeah.
Because I don't want it to be so spicy where you eat it once in a while, or somebody who comes and says it's too hot. You don't want that. When you kind of have a spice period, and you have somebody who really can't eat pepper can't eat it, fine. But people who could eat pepper, they can add more pepper if they want, because you have the mother-in-law, you have the father-in-law.
I didn't pepper to that.
That's real sickness, bro.
Eyes do it.
You put pepper in it.
Real people.
Something wrong with you there. Boy.
People's come.
My father would do that too.
Yeah.
Cut it up.
Some people come for the chicken. Some people come for the fries. Some people come just for the wings. Some people come just for the shrimp.
Fries are so good, though. Fries are so good.
The season, you see.
It's ridiculous.
It's not just salt and then like, hey, you could eat that cold. I tell people I eat that cold because it tastes good. I mean, you're hungry, you eat it.
Ridiculous.
No, but you have a good thing going there, you know. I'm fucking like, because the rest, because the thing, when you look at the other food options that they have, though, everybody's selling the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
There's no variety between it, and Pappy is just something different. And it lasts, you know. So if I would buy it all the time, except like I would probably kill myself if I eat too much though, like that. That spice might
I
kill me.
used to eat it every day, to be honest. I was just more for like taste testing and making sure things. Now I'm just like, all right, once in a while.
Yeah. But who y'all would compare all this out to? Like, who all the feelers in all the, like, who all they competing against?
Nobody.
Monster. Such themselves.
Nah, to be honest, yeah. Nobody.
Like,
I mean, you have these small fried chicken people, but
who's that man? No, man.
yeah. I wouldn't really say we have any competition.
KFC's not really competition. It's not the same thing.
KFC's a different ball
thing,
game. Yeah. I just love how people.
Though, their chicken line on there for 20 minutes.
Yeah. I just love how people think like KFC's Trinidad now.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, I mean, Trinidad never made KFC. We just like fried chicken.
Local.
Yeah.
They like spice.
Yeah. But now we don't really have anybody, to be honest.
All right. So how has your experience been with like food influencers and food bloggers and things?
I mean, you have certain ones that are good, right? And then you have ones who will just do it just to get the likes or put out their experience of a place or. But my thing with them, you have the good reviews, you have the bad reviews, you have the honest reviews, you have all these kind of reviews, right? But your palate is different to my palate, right? So you might like, as we said, you might like a burger. I might not like the burger. But that doesn't mean that you should just go out there and be like, well, you know, the burger was okay, you know. So I won't really recommend. I give it a 4 out of 10. But it's a small business that you are critiquing. You're not even saying that you're going by the person. You're not even saying you're taking the time, the initiative to go and meet the owner, learn about their experience. You just literally bashing their food for no reason, just for you to be like, okay, well, oh look, I got 1,000 likes on TikTok, Instagram. To me, I don't like that thing. You have these actual real food bloggers who will come, they will ask you beforehand, I love your product, or I want to try your product. Let me get to know you. Let me feel like how you got here. You just go in and get any food and you're disliking it one time. So you have this one in particular who went to a food place and they're taping the food or the other people's food or whatever, and then they come up saying, oh, we saw a rat. But you're not posting that you saw a rat. You have no footage that you saw a rat. But you're just putting it out there and you put all these other businesses on risk. These small businesses that you just shared to how many people, thousands of people in Trinidad. And all these people like, yeah, well, I'm not going to go there, you know. Because you have people that would say that. You know? Okay, yeah. You might have rodents. I'm not saying that it's okay to have the rodents. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we have no footage of it. Right? You never went and meet these people who are putting this their livelihood. And you're putting out there to thousands of people saying that, okay, well, this food was okay. What gives you the right? What gives you the right to tell me or post this that these people's food is okay? But as I said, your palate could be different to mine. Let me experience it on my own. If you really want to be a food critic, go and meet the people. Feel them out. If you really don't like the food, you don't like the food. Cool. You can give your point of view. And I don't mind if somebody meets the people. If I come and meet you and we talk, or I film in all this, and I eat into something and I don't like it. I would say, okay, well, I personally do not like it. But you're bashing them without even knowing the people, you know? To me, that don't make sense. Because I know the effort it takes constantly to put out a product that you're hoping that the customers are like. You're not just going into food and serving any kind of owner. It's not going out there to serve food for people not to like. You're going out there in the best intentions to give a product that people are happy eating, you know? So the bloggers and then, I mean, some of them can tone it down a lot because you're really killing people's pocket, you know, by posting all these kind of crap. I just don't agree to it, to be honest.
You know, understand the power they have.
Exactly. It's social media you're talking about. It's not a joke. This is people's livelihood you're putting out.
Because look at the video that gave Pappys the big initials.
Yeah. I mean, I remember one woman from South bash us. And she had, go on her profile, I can't remember what her name is, whatever. She has over 12,000 followers on her thing, right? And she posted Pappys had no taste. And this was kind of like height of COVID too now. And we're now kind of opening up. So everybody's like, well, she have no taste buds. She probably have COVID, you know? And that took to me as hard because I don't know you for one. You have all these followers on your thing. You're a nail artist or whatever you are. And you're posting about food, right? And you're bashing a food place because you know South people have thing with town and South have the best food and this and that, blah, blah, blah. That whole ship it fight, right? Everybody has great food all over Trinidad.
Yep.
But when I saw that, from then on, I learned to not take these kind of people on because it will fill it out. You just study what you had to do, continue to grow your product, make it better, make it consistent, and you'll have your people come to you no matter what. When I saw that, I was like, damn, Mom, you could have talked to us. You could have sent a message and be like, hey, first time trying, you know, but you go and post it out. Like, to me, that's like me going to her place and be like, your nails suck. I would never do that. I would never do that to you. You know? I would never go up to you and be like, your clean products is real lame, boy. Like, these people suck. Like, you know, Jed. I just don't understand. People just are about this likes and all that tralala and fame and social media bull.
Yeah, but it's also like you think that a bad review is as valuable to them as a good review? Like it would reach as far or further. So that's why
That's a good question. I think they like the bad reviews. I think they like to post the bad reviews because they get more people talking about it because you have lots of negative energy out there now. Yeah, like it's crazy how bad negative energy is. You know, you go on anything, say you're scrolling through Instagram and you just see, they see a random post and you open the comments and you just have people just talking bad shit about something. Like look at the young fellow who died in the car accident in by the bamboo, ran into the
container.
You know, you're bringing up a past that he had with officers.
What's the point?
I'm pretending that he was a lawyer, blah blah blah. But man, yeah, okay, he could have been intoxicated, he could have fallen asleep. But you're bashing, you're hating on the man because you know of his lifestyle. The man just died. You have close people to him, and people are just hate.
That's the go-to. A lot of people just kind of miserable, like, and they just put it out.
They just
project it on other people.
People just angry, boy.
Yeah.
Plenty people angry. But that's a good question. I think people post the bad reviews for the comments, and I agree with this. Blah blah blah. But don't mind. Never know those people never try the people food or you know.
Engagement is everything. Man.
Engagement, yeah. People feed off of that.
What else do you all do? Do you all do anything else besides food? Like, do you all like do catering and do?
Yeah, we do events. So we would do carnival time. We would do all the parties. You know, we do CIC. We do Victoria Gardens. We had a couple this year. I can't remember.
Too much.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. I'll relax off.
Trying to get into weddings. We have a wedding coming up as well to do. It would be much easier if we had a food truck because with this, you had a total equipment. You know.
Did y'all have a food truck at some point?
We had a food truck. We were renting out a food truck. This was the carnival before COVID. And that was a big plus. We had a good team with Bar Garden and they helped us out a lot. Yeah, you just pull up in your food truck and you have everything there ready to go. Boom. You know, that made life much easier. So we were in the process of getting a food cart and all those kind of things. But now it's like get a tote fryers, tote gas tank, all kind of travel back and forth, you know. But yeah, we do events. Like to do much more, but all in time.
And right now, there's a lot of like, you see like 139 Woodbrook, kind of thing where there's just like a small area with a bunch of different food places in one, so everybody could go there. I'm sure that's gonna spread elsewhere because there's mostly here and there's another one. I think behind Casali's they're opening another one. But if there's other things like that, like South or Central, you think you all would be going to those, or just so people could have that?
I think the one behind Casali's actually approached us already.
I'll take it from right there.
I know, yeah. It could be a thing eventually later on in line where you could open up later in the night because there obviously has more traffic compared to where we are now.
Yeah.
You know? But, I mean, if these spaces run out, they run out. But where we're moving to now is kind of like, it's a whole big food area. And especially in that part of the east, they don't have much food places there. But they have all these big companies. You have Peaks, you have Extra Foods, you have Caribbean Chemicals, you have Amalgamated, you have the Army behind it. You have so it'll be a good thing. But once we get the food card, we've asked many people, and many people came up to us, hey, we have a spot here for you all, you know. So we have options for sure. Because I'm not gonna sound cocky, but I think wherever Pappys goes, the people around, they will benefit as well. You know, I think that's how they look at it too. You know? 100%. And anywhere we go, I think people will find Pappys without, you know, we can go behind a wall and people will find us, you know?
Simple as that.
Yeah. It's just to keep our head strong and just keep consistent, but just know what it's about and not get sidetracked and give up on everything, you know? Because you see people who own a business and they just kind of let it run on its own. And they're just looking at numbers at the end of the day. Yeah, okay, cool. You know? But you got to keep in contact with your customers. It's always good. That's why I always say when people come by me all the time, tell me what you see. And if you had a bad experience, tell me. Let me know. They have to be like that way.
All right, guys. So we heading into the famous rapid rounds.
Mhm.
Quick question, quick answer. All right. So first question I have for you: If
69.
if you had one piece of advice for your younger self, what you would tell yourself?
Buy Bitcoin.
Not good advice.
Good advice.
Yeah.
So as somebody who has a small business, how do you balance that and life? Diamond. Wife.
At the start, it was hard. It was hard to balance. It was just all about work. Because you're working from waking up 8 o'clock in the morning, closing up to like 10 o'clock in the night, tired. So it was tough. Yeah. But now it's easier. But the staff and all the processes that you have.
Like once you start in a business, you have no choice but to put in that sacrifice.
You have to put in the sacrifice, yeah. But obviously with more branches, it will come back straight to that again.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Now it's just one, so it's okay. But when 2, 3 happening, there's plenty of work.
As you say, managing your time with Lyman and wife and whatnot was the key to like a good, healthy relationship. Congrats on the wedding, by the way.
Between wife and I?
Yeah, it was like the key to a happy marriage and relationship.
Communication is one for sure. I think the key to Sarah and I relationship is we both on the same page, you know? We both brought up the same, I would say the kind of same way family.
Mm-hmm.
We both have the same goals. So that's alone is a blessing. It's hard to find that. But what keeps us close is that we talk all the time, or when we're doing things, we do it together. We love each other's company, you know? Some people might say or look at us like, hey, they're always together. But we like to be together. You know, and we also have our times where we do our own things. But majority of the time I think the key is definitely communication, you know?
And how do you spend your free time now? Well, any free time that you have?
My free time is now I'm trying to get back into to play more. My gaming is my thing too. Now, which is cool because you're talking to your boys and your linemen, you shit talk and you talk about rubbish, and, you know, like, but majority of the time, is Sarah and I will go places or go for dinner or spend time with family. That's pretty much free time. I really don't like to party anymore, boy. So overdone. I mean, I party in a long time too, so same thing over and over. Same music, same people.
Yeah, but then I sure see you in Soca. So,
well, Soca's a different kind of, Soca's a different vibe. That's a different vibe. You had to go.
Okay. If you wasn't involved with Pappys right now, like say Pappys never came about, what do you think you would be doing right now?
I'll be like Jerome.
You are
Jerome.
Working boy, slave in the corporate life.
Slave in the corporate life. Probably, yeah. Or I might have been, where would I have been? I remember I was working at EUG for a while.
What you were doing now?
I was pretty much like a banksman, pretty much, in Shag. Which was a good experience, eh? Don't get me wrong.
Like marine, like ships on.
Yeah, loading pipe. And so I think I could have grown a lot inside the gas industry, I think. But that was a good experience. You met people that you never met before, and from Claxon Bay, and they have a different kind of mindset.
If you had to give any advice to anyone who wants to start a business, what would you give them? What would you tell them?
You had to be in it 150%. You can't just be like, I want to start this and then give up or not take it in after a month or two. You know? I think the difference is because I always wanted this to happen, so I'm fully invested into it. But if you start a new business, you had to be 150% in it. You can't just give up or let it do its own thing. And that's in every business though. Any kind of business it is. Like when you're doing your podcast, you gotta be invested in it. You want to see it grow, you gotta put your money. You have to put your mind in it. You know.
All right, so what is a typical day in the life of Shin?
A day in life. I just wake up around 8. Mini bathroom. I don't have breakfast anymore. I try to fast like 12 to 16 hours every day. And then I'll obviously I live in the east. I'll go down to Digo. I'll pick up the bag, which I have all the float money, blah, blah, blah. Check my parents, talk to them, check my sister. Make sure, because we do everything, our whole stock and everything is at home. Make sure all the stock is organized for the day. Go down to Pappys, have the place open up around 10:30, so we're ready for 11. I have staff there from 9 o'clock. Make sure everything in order, blah, blah, blah. And then work from, it might sound easy, but from 11 to like 1:32. And then head home. And then just kind of do more work, numbers wise. Right now, focusing more on a new location, so we'll visit there all the time and check it out. But as a daily life, yeah, it's relaxed at the moment, to be honest. But it will pick up for sure.
It's a new one.
Yeah.
What is the hardest personal challenge you've had to deal with in your life, and also the biggest challenge Pappys has had in its?
My biggest personal challenge.
Deep question. I want to cry.
Yeah, deep. What would it be, boy? I think I have a habit of saying no first. So when somebody asks me something, especially like family, wise, I'm like, no, can't do it. You know? So I have to learn to be like, not say no.
Right.
And take more thought into when somebody asks me to do something. I hate when people ask me to do things. And just abruptly, I hate when people be like, "Can you do this?" I'm like, "Well, God, why? Why you can't?" Because I don't ask people to do things for me now.
Yeah.
I never ask people to do things for me unless I really need help. So when people ask me, it's like, you can do it on your own. Good. But anyway, yeah, that's probably the hardest thing I have to change in my personal life.
Right.
The no first and then say yes. Or think about it and then be like, oh yeah, okay, no problem. And what was the next question with Pappys?
The same thing. The biggest challenge Pappys has had faced in its
The biggest, what would be the biggest, boy? You could say, I think the biggest thing is good staff, boy. Now is good staff. Just have staff will always be an issue, but once you have good staff, it makes life much easier. You know, you could trust them. And we've had good staff in the past, but as I said, in the past, like it could get very stressful because every day you're thinking about all the issues that they bring to the table and how they treat you and blah, blah, blah. But staff, I think, is a big issue. Plus, our next big issue is just being, our main thing is like equipment and food is a lot of money. So we still have things that we have to spend, but it's hard to spend because you need your cash flow. You need to keep up with your expenses. But equipment is a big thing. And we're still struggling with proper warmers and stuff like that. So that's a big issue as well because the product is what's giving you the money, right? So that's one big issue. That's two big issues. And also learning how to expand into different areas of Trinidad. Because you want to grow fast, but you don't want to grow fast, and everybody telling you come here and come this and do this, and everybody makes it sound so easy, but it's logistically is very tough. let's just say I come back to logistics all the time because it is a big issue. You deal with traffic, you're dealing with weather, you're dealing with all kind of things. You can't just hope for, because what we do now, we use our own cars to do things. You know? And you had to come into play where you had to buy 2 trucks, you had to have a delivery driver, you have to have proper SOPs of when chicken leaving, how much leaving. So much drama, you know, there's plenty of things because people could steal from you very easily if you don't have all these things in place. So all those are the big issues for Pappys, I think, now. Back then it was just about like getting the product out fast enough for the customer, you know. But now it's a whole different ball game. Growing.
But having like you're basically your warehouse in Digwood, you don't think that's a problem? Look, it's keeping all stuff home.
You save a lot of money on rent.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And we could run like 3-4 stores from where we are now. Yeah, I would say.
You had to go to the stores anyway, so
Yeah.
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So it's fine.
So guys, I just want to say thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Odyssey Podcast. Today we had the pleasure of sitting down with Shahinder Singh, director of Pappy's Fried Chicken. It was very good to sit down and hear his story and hear how Pappy's came to be and learn from him. So Shahinder, if you have any closing remarks?
Yeah, man, it was a pleasure to be on the Odyssey Team podcast.
Thanks, brother.
It's been a while coming. Right?
It has been a while.
It was a nice experience, to be honest. I like what you guys doing, for sure. I think you can go far. I think you have plenty. It was very professional. I like how we have drinks and, you know, it wasn't just like, sit down and, you know, it was, I got to know you first time meeting you. Yeah. It was a pleasure. Right? You're a great fella. And I wish you all the best and thank you for having me here today.
Thanks for coming on again.
Yeah, man.
Taking your time. Yeah.
And one more time, I just want to say thank you to all of our viewers. You know, this podcast would not be possible without you all. And we're very, very grateful for each and every one of you all. So if you all enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on the Odyssey Podcast on Instagram if you don't already. And sit tight for the other one. We have a next one coming and I'm sure you'll really enjoy it. So thank you.
Take care, guys.
Thank you so much.